This all started 4 days ago.
We've got 2 explosions here.
Amid the chaos and tragedy, 2 suspects emerge. Now one is dead, the other on the run. Boston on lockdown, the scene of a massive manhunt.
Going door to door, street to street.
And as thousands of officers search for their suspect, comes a plea from his family.
Turn yourself in and ask for forgiveness.
Their son was only 4 years old.
Just a freak accident.
A child taken too soon.
He was only 4. He had a lot of life to live.
But John and Susie Crush are working to help keep their son's memory alive by helping kids just like him.
As a mother, I still feel like I'm taking care of him, and it feels good.
Mark Crush, making a difference, even in death. Friday at 5 on News Center 7. Tonight at 11.
Holy
This was just a small part of a 45-minute chase here in the valley. Plus, officers told him to stop, but he would not listen. How that face plant on the pavement might have saved his life.
And the heat warnings are behind us, but now we've got something else to worry about. The changes coming this weekend, tonight at 11.
Today at 5, this guy would not go quietly. The extra steps police took to keep him in handcuffs.
Plus, it was just a normal day until this happened. How the driver and his son walked away from this fireball. That's at 5. The snowstorm leaves its mark on the Miami Valley, wreaking havoc on our roads. One car ended up inside a house. Interstate traffic slowed to a crawl. Some drivers spun out right in front of our cameras. Now the next problem all of us will face tonight. Major Odell Graves is living his dream.
Last one, here we go.
Teaching lessons he learned under fire.
Honor, humility, those are critical bywords that we live by.
Turning young men and women into leaders.
You made me become a better person, a stronger person.
I try to do my best, that's all.
Making a difference for almost 30 years, and he has no plans of stopping. That's Friday at 5 on News Center 7. Two confirmed tornadoes, winds estimated over 100 miles an hour.
It sounded like every one of my windows was about to blow open. It was mass hysteria.
Now the damage left behind and the stories from people in the middle of it all.
Team 7 coverage today at 5. Coming up at 11, they had only seconds to get out.
I couldn't get to her. She ran to the kitchen screaming. And I said, get the baby, get the baby.
The one thing that kept this roof from falling on everybody inside the house. Plus, he drove over roads, a few yards, and even some railroad tracks. The foot chase that ended with this guy on the wrong end of a taser. And the highest and lowest grades for schools here in the valley, that's coming up at 11. Mass confusion in a Washington Navy yard.
It just happened so fast.
Everyone was terrified, scared, and shaking.
He aimed his gun at us, and he fired at least 2 or 3 shots.
I heard 3 shots. Pow, pow, pow.
At least one shooter on the grounds, and no one safe.
He simply walked up to try to say, hey, there's a shooter in your building. That's when he got shot.
Law enforcement and medics swarmed the scene. Now 13 people are dead, including one shooter, and the search is on for a second man who's still out there. Tonight at 11, a punishment that never should have happened. Investigators get involved after what this daycare did not do after this video surfaced. Plus, a diabetic girl rushed to the hospital.
She took enough insulin to kill 2 people.
What her Clark County school did not do, which may have caused her near-fatal overdose.
And rain made for a miserable day, but I'll show you something in your forecast that may be worse tonight at 11.
He was homeless, living in the gutter, addicted to drugs and alcohol.
If you name it, I've used it.
Until one day when his dying mother changed everything.
She wasn't praying for herself. She was praying for me.
Then and there, he turned it all around, and today he's helping others do the same.
If I can just help one person find their way home, my life will be worth it.
Charles Turner, making a difference. Friday at 5 on News Center 7. Tonight at 11, he got away with $90,000 worth of wheels and tires. The small piece of paper he left behind, which is making it easier for investigators.
Plus, the wet and windy conditions made for a rough beggar's night. The chances we see a repeat for Friday Night Football. And thieves usually leave behind clues, but this is a new one.
I get to the end of the wire and there's a finger.
Why that finger was just the tip police needed to find their man. That's at 11.
Today at 5, a 19-year-old man accused of rape, and we ran into his mother.
Get the from my mother house! Now! Now!
What she said in her son's defense when she finally calmed down.
And the reason a woman's about to lose her license after a police officer slammed into her parked car. That's at 5 o'clock. Precious seconds ticking away for the American people.
There is only one issue before the United States Congress, and that's the issue to keep government open.
Neither side willing to budge.
It's a matter of fairness for all Americans.
And with talks going into the night, millions watch as time runs out.
It does not have to happen.